The Human Resource Service Center presents If You Keep Failing at Job Interviews, the Problem is Not Your CV. Recording by Eddie Chigozi. We hear a lot of job seekers saying, I am not getting hired in my interviews. It must be that I don't have the experience they want on my CV. That is not it. If the employer invited you to the interview, then they liked your CV. Once you are in the interview, it is up to you to impress them with how you describe your experience, what type of attitude you show them, what questions you ask them at the end. Your CV has one job: to get you invited to the interview. If it did that, then your CV is working. Now, let us move on to some possible reasons that might be costing you job offers in your interviews. There are so many reasons, but the following are the top 13 reasons that people fail job interviews. Number 1, you did not research that job and company very much. Don't underestimate this step. Employers want to hire someone who is thorough and hardworking, no matter what job you are interviewing for. And the first way to show them you work hard and that you don't cut corners is by walking into the interview knowing about their job and the company. Try to know more than anyone else that they have interviewed. Study the job description and take note of the key responsibilities. Research the company also. Know how they make money, who their clients and customers are, who their top competitors are, how big they are, 100 employees, thousands of employees, and more. Try to imagine what some other job seeker out there is doing, and then do twice as much. This is how you stand out. This is pure effort. You don't need talent to do this. You just need to put in the work. And employers do notice when you have done that extra research. Your level of confidence when answering questions like, why did you apply here? Or, what do you know about us? Is just completely different when you have done thorough research. Your interviewer will pick up on this and will love it. Number 2, you did not ask them very many questions. Employers want to hire someone who is looking for specific things in their job search and knows what they want. Otherwise, they are going to be afraid that you will get bored, or you will not like the job, or you will leave as soon as you find something better. And how can you know their job is a good fit if you don't ask any questions? So, not asking enough questions is a huge red flag to employers and will make them worry that you don't really care what type of job you end up with. You are desperate and just want any job, or you are trying to do the bare minimum to get hired. And all of these are reasons why you are failing interviews potentially. You should ask at least 1 or 2 questions to each person you meet with. If you want to know what questions to ask, we have an audio guide on the best questions to ask the interviewer. Number 3, you did not send emails thanking each person you met with. This is another way to show that you are a hard worker who takes the extra steps to go above and beyond what is required, rather than someone who cuts corners or waits to be asked to do something. And which type of person do you think employers are hiring? I would recommend sending a thank you letter to each person you met with face-to-face in an interview. Send it the following day at lunchtime or the evening after the interview when you arrive home. Number 4, you gave inconsistent answers or lied or didn't even seem trustworthy. It is important to be authentic and admit when you don't know something, and then show you are willing to learn it. Saying no is better than giving some long-winded answer. It is okay once or twice in an interview to say, I am not sure, or "No, I have never done that before, but I would love to learn it." This is so much better than trying to lie or give a long-winded, confusing answer. Hiring managers are smart. They know when you are doing this. And if they don't feel they can trust you, they won't hire you. So next time you are tempted to lie in an interview, remember that being upfront and honest can win you a lot of likability points with the hiring manager and can sometimes get you hired. Feeling pressure to say yes to every question or act like you know everything is a common reason why people fail to get hired in their job interviews. Hiring managers do not expect you to be able to say that you have done every single thing they ask about. In fact, a good interviewer will ask some things that you don't know. How else can they find out your limits? Keep this in mind in your next interview. Number 5, you could not explain what you are looking for in your job search right now. This is something a lot of job seekers don't realize or just really underestimate. Employers always want someone who is targeting specific things in their job hunt. If you don't sound like you have thought about what you want to do next in your career, employers will be worried that you will change your mind and leave, not enjoy the job and get bored. So if you want more job offers, show employers that you know what you want to do. And if you are unemployed, be ready to explain why you left your previous role. We have an audio with good sample answers on that. Also, make sure you have prepared a good answer for "Tell me about yourself." This is often the first thing they ask and is a way for you to tell your story while also bringing them up to speed on what you are looking for right now. Number 6, you couldn't explain why you want their specific job. After showing them that you know what you are looking for in your job hunt, be ready to explain how their specific job fits into that. This is where doing your research helps. Review the job description thoroughly so you can name responsibilities that you are looking forward to doing and building skills with. Employers love to ask questions like, "Why did you apply for this position?" to check whether you have specific reasons for applying. And you are not going to get very many job offers by saying you just need a job, or you have bills, or you are unemployed and need to find work. I have talked to so many job seekers who don't get this, or who are frustrated by this when I explain it. They say, "I just need a job. Why do I need to act like their job is special?" The truth is, if you don't care about their job, they will probably find someone who does. This is a likely reason why people fail interviews and don't get hired. Here is a recommendation. Think more about what you do want to be doing, and then only apply just for that type of job. Narrow your job search. Apply for fewer types of jobs, but better fitting ones. And I don't just mean jobs you are qualified for, but jobs you actually want. That's what I mean when I say better fitting. You will get more job offers when you can explain exactly why you applied. Number 7, you did not show excitement or enthusiasm. Hiring managers want someone who is going to come in and be positive, be energetic and excited about the work. It is okay if you are not the loudest, most energetic person, but you need to turn it up a little bit and show some enthusiasm. If they tell you about a part of the job that sounds interesting, say so. Try to say, "That is great. That sounds really interesting," at least once or twice in an interview where you are learning about the job duties. You are joining their team, and they want someone who is going to be energetic, who is excited, and care about the work. Number 8, You were too humble. Don't forget that your job in an interview is to sell yourself. While it is good to be humble and honest, you always don't want to be too shy about telling them what you are great at and what you will do for them. Talk about past accomplishments. Talk about what you are best at. What are you an expert in? What have co-workers come to you for help with in the past? Have you trained anyone else? Has your boss asked for your help on a subject in the past? What have you spent the most time doing in your career? If you just graduated, what did you focus on in your studies? You are an expert in these things, so act like one. Employers want to hire someone who has expert skills and can come in and help them right away. Don't be shy to show this. To start, prepare a good answer for what is your greatest accomplishment. Pick something recent, if possible, that demonstrates a skill set that will also be useful in this job. Think about how you would answer questions like these too. What are you best at? Why should we hire you? Number 9. You did not make it about them. Along with showing them your expertise, make sure you clearly show how those skills will help them in this job. This is something most job seekers don't do, and is a big reason why many fail interviews. Most job seekers think the interview is all about themselves. The key to getting more job offers is to make your answers about the employer too. Talk about how your skills fit into their job. How will your past accomplishments set you up for success in the tasks you will be doing for them? If you don't study the job description carefully, you can't do any of this. So if you are not doing this while preparing, it is probably why you keep failing interviews. If you want examples of what good interview answers sound like, check in the Human Resource Service Center audio storeroom on our social media platform. Number 10. You did not seem coachable. Hiring managers don't want to hire someone who seems stubborn or unwilling to learn to do things their way, no matter how talented you are. Each company does things a bit differently, and they expect you to learn how they operate, even if you did this exact job in the past. So, always show that you are open-minded and willing to adapt to new ideas. Every manager has had that employee who is talented but just refuses to follow the company's way of doing things. And it is not fun for them. They don't want to hire another person like that. Number 11. Your body language or appearance were not great. People judge each other visually before anything else. Within a fraction of a second, the hiring manager is gathering their first impression by looking at your facial expression and body language. So, it is worth dressing well for your interviews and making sure you have confident body language throughout the interview. Practice having good posture, both sitting down and walking or standing. Maintain eye contact when talking and listening. Most people find it harder to do while talking. Don't cross your arms or take a defensive posture when you sit down. Try to sit open and relaxed. Also, avoid tapping your hands or feet or doing anything else that will distract the interviewer. These may seem like small details, but the impression you give off visually is often just as important as the words you are saying. If you are saying the right things, but not going into your interviews with an appearance that backs it up, it could be the reason why you are failing interviews. Number 12. You did not build rapport with the hiring manager. As you go through the job interview, don't forget you are talking to a real person. This hiring manager is deciding who to bring into their team and work with every day for the near future. So building a personal connection really matters. If they ask you something about yourself, try to ask them a question in return. For example, if they ask whether you played any sports in college, you can answer and say, "What about you?" Also try to look around their office when you sit down and see if there is anything you can use in a conversation later. For example, do they have photos of their children playing sports? Hiring managers will remember you for this. Don't take the conversation totally off track if they are trying to discuss the job with you, but do learn one or two things about them and show that you are interested in getting to know them as a person before the end of the interview. Number 13. Your skills were not quite what they needed. Now, we have gone through 12 likely reasons why people fail job interviews. And finally, yes, it is also possible that they invited you to the interview and then realized that your background just isn't quite what they need. It does happen, but quite often it is something else. It's one of those other 12 factors we have already looked at. So, if you keep failing in your interviews, look at the pieces you can control. Don't just blame it on bad luck or on your CV, which you now know is probably not the problem if you listened to the start of this audio. There is a lot that you can control and change to start getting job offers instead of failing in your interviews. Some of your friends may just say, "Do your best as it's out of your control." I think a lot of people believe this. That is, it's out of your control, and they are wrong. It is possible that you have been doing interviews all wrong the whole time. You maybe were too fixated on simply answering the questions from the interviewers about yourself. Now you know how to relate your strengths to the job duties and show them how you would help them perform the duties. This audio should help you build a positive mindset for any upcoming interviews so that you can prepare and do the best for them. Do you believe now is the time to take your career to the next level? Are you looking for a better paying job? Or is it finding a job that gives you more satisfaction? Do you want to position yourself better in your organization so that you can get that promotion you have wanted for a long time? With our CV services, where we help you to rewrite your CV and make it more attractive to hiring managers, with our interview pack tailor-made to prepare you well for the specific interview that you have been shortlisted for, the Human Resource Service Center is the best organization to prepare and support you as you take your career to the next level. Contact us by telephone or WhatsApp on the number 256 772 481 995. You can also visit our website on www.humanresourcecenter.com.